Now we have to ask, what do we do with the CO2 that we have sequestered? The one is the climate effect, but also it can be monetized. We hear about this in the next presentation by Michael Diestel, who will speak for Agrokraft GmbH, but also for the Bavarian Farmers Association, because they are promoting this idea. He is the CEO of the Farmers Association in his own county, and also of Agrokraft GmbH. And can we actually monetize CO2 sequestration, getting people, farmers, to plant more hedges? Can you tell us about this? Thank you very much.
Thank you for the kind introduction. I don't know if you can imagine what it feels like to be up here, if everything has already been said at very good high quality, massive, crazy. What I cannot tell you now is that I have completed something. It's all about how can we work on the vision that we have, which has been shown concretely before. How can we work on this, and how can we take this to the target? Because after what we've heard from Schotten and Effortshausen, for example, we should just embrace ourselves, celebrate, say it's working, it works, we can pay for it, and only this thermal use of hedges takes us to the goal, to the finish line. There's no reason not to do it, but the hedge still is an all-arounder. Talking about myself, I've been presented briefly, Agrokraft director, a spin-off of the Regional Farmers Association, and our passion is that we build company networks in the rural area because we see massive potential in solving the problems of our times. We've been doing this for more than 20 years now in renewable energies, regional development, biogas, community projects with as many farmers involved as possible, cooperatives, biological plantations and natural reserve projects. And we were on the marketplace with 2 projects, the solitary trees, 3,000 solitary trees, and a Hanf mix as biogas alternative for corn. And this has been created in close cooperation with the BUND and us. And we have implemented them as the lead project. And now we work with the power line of Hedge, as we've been calling it, in the landscape, and how to involve that into a monetization. I do not need to tell you much about sustainability. The 3 pillars are ecology, economy, and of course the social aspects. And how can we bring this together with the hedge? You can see it here wonderfully, how it can work, starting with ecology. And I just don't need to say much about this after all what we've heard. But if you look at this, this is the book from Gottfried Henne, 1982, The Hedge, the small sister, little sister of the wood, of the forest. He was a hedge pioneer, and how he got classes of schools to plant hedges, to work in this, because he did see all the context of nature and could explain everything that goes on in nature. Great guy. And we know about the ecosystem performance of a hedge. All of us know that from the soil protection, biodiversity protection, and water protection. I come from the most northern part of Bavaria, most far away from Munich. We have 500 millimeters of rain, very bad rain. We are a hotspot, so we really have to take care of this. That means we cannot carry on as we did in the past, because we run the risk of deserting the land state, what we may have in Mongolia. But for me, as a farmer, it is not invisible how we can have farming in 50 years. So the point is, this is here from a newspaper. Recreating nature may cost endless millions. And this is what it's all going to be about in the future. It is going to cost billions, but the question is, how do we get the knowledge and the context that we've heard about today? How can we get into agriculture? That's going to be a major point. Also looking at the authorities. We have to go to the environmental ministry. We have to go to the economy ministry and the agriculture ministry. One is responsible for this, and the next one is for something else. Both have to go to something else, and with different parties. So all of this is very difficult. It's very complex to cover everyone and reach out to everybody. Looking at the economy, which is second pillar, this is going to be the magic door opener, how to bring this out on a large scale. It's important to develop business cases coming from environmental protection. That means the ecosystem performance in the future. Is it going to be a flood region? Is it going to be more cheap to build a concrete wall or plant a hedge? Everything tends towards the hedge, but we have to explain this. It doesn't come from the people that work with concrete, that live with concrete all their life. So we have to put in all the energy. Or bioeconomy. We are going to the post-fossil age. I don't care who understood this and who didn't. We are moving towards that, and that's a bioeconomic age. So that's the new business. I'm hurrying up. I'll try to speak even faster. We're talking about complex situations, and it's difficult. It's always the same procedure, calculation and presentation. So we don't present things that we haven't calculated beforehand. And how do we do this? How do we get to the agriculture FFP? Voluntary, everybody can do it, nobody has to do it. It's fair compensation and integrated into productions. I don't want to shut down space. We do not have enough space to do that. And also an example here, a chart that shows this very nicely, looking at the evaporation. If we know we put a hedge against the main wind direction, we reduced that. That means if we have 500 milliliter, if I can save 50 to 100 liters of water per square meter and convert that into biological growth, that means the soil will be better, giving more yield. So it's important to relearn this. These are the things that have been lost. It's not taught anymore in school, in the universities, in the professional training. We weren't taught this until today. I know that I don't know this, so we have to do this. The next thing, what we have to do. Bioeconomy, CO2 sink of hedge. Hedge cutting, we've talked about this. Pyrolysis, burning it, we have talked about this. Burning it 600, 700 degrees, but we have a carbon efficiency which is at 60%. So that means I have 50 tons of carbon, and I burn it in pyrolysis. I will get 60% of the carbon out, and I can give it to the acre, or I can mix it into the food. That improves digestion and reduces the climate gases in the animal, improves the output, and that again can be brought to the fields, and that improves the cycle, building up humus, and that replaces biological mass, giving better biological growth. So this takes us to an upward spiral and not a downward spiral. That's what we have to go for, and that's what we have to explain as a holistic approach. So these are the contexts in bioeconomy. And now let's look at CDR in hedges. 3 minutes to go. I'll make it. For me, it was important that we have to get the dirt out. We just have to swap to renewables. The CO2 has to be gotten out. A big part of the historical CO2 and the CO2 emissions, which economy cannot save. Let's call it not a trade-off, but they can't save it off. There are good examples, for example, this one here in Iceland, where we have big technology taking CO2 from the air, sequestrating it into the soil, qualified stones, 500 and 1,300 euros per ton of CO2. Massive amounts of monies is going into this. These are startups, and they collect billions, and it's pure nonsense. We can do it. Just take the last figure here: cost per ton of CO2, 35 to 50 tons per ton. So if we do that in an agricultural manner, and here we have 2 kilograms, which is what I took. I hope I'm quite right. And the 20 years is 2 kilograms of CO2 per square meter and year. So try to take this and calculate it in terms of money. We have a contribution margin per square meter and year of 7 cents per square meter. Currently, we are at 80 euros per ton of CO2. That means 18 per kilogram. And prospectively, until 2020, if there's no free CO2 certificates anymore, we will move up to 150, 15 cents per kilogram. That means 2 kilograms were 15 to 20 cents turnover, compared to the contribution margin 7 cents. So that tells you there is a leverage in this, just in this topic. And the other interest to use that is here. This paper, the gold standard, the Bavarian Environmental Ministry has taken this up for the traveling of their staff. 287,000 tons of CO2, providing this in Sichuan. So there is a market. Now we have to ask there, what did you use this for? What is the money spent? And wouldn't it be suitable to plant hedges? So there is a market, and we have to build this market, and that takes me to the social component. I need to finish this, I'm sorry. So how do we get the tip over to the planting? We have to organize ourselves. We are not organized. We're just a bunch of people, unorganized. Food is organized around agriculture. Energy, where we have citizens' energy, is worked around the regions, escaping them. So we don't have just to be irritated and engaged. We have to be organizing ourselves. So this is what we have to do. And this is a good example. Mr. Raiffeisen, the person of the cooperatives, how to fight the drought with a single person. They developed a bank system which took over the whole of Germany and Japan later on, allowing to cover the complete rural region since the middle of the century. And this has to be our vision. We really have to organize ourselves for this benefit that we have with high quality. The emittent has to see the sink, not somewhere complete transparent, optimum quality management controlling, limited offer, and this takes it right into the middle of the social context between the people, like here, the people in the energy cooperative, Großmothers, 1,000 people, 150 million have been going in, 50 million euros, sorry, and they can't run anymore. They are at the top of the list, the megatrend, decentral, circular, bio-based, and most important, together. It's the time for teamwork across associations from all areas. This is it, what we have to do. Think big, start local. Thank you.